opening.
Hello. Remember, fists together and pray. Welcome, brothers and sisters, on this blessed Sunday, October 25th, 2020. This is Reverend Sharon Whittington's Paranormal Ministry. I am your host with the ghosts, Reverend Shawn, the Rev. Welcome to my haunted house, my very haunted house. And I just wanted to start off by saying I got a lot of requests this past week for me to offer up prayers for people, either for themselves, a loved one, a friend, a particular intention. A lot of requests for candles. No one actually requested to be mentioned tonight at the start of the show. So I have decided to light a real large candle for all of us. Every one of you that have been so kind to tune in tonight, who can see me, who can hear me within the sound of my voice, I'm going to light a candle and say a prayer for all of us. I heard somebody the other day make a really good analogy towards what we all seem to be going through right now. And it was kind of cool. He said, we seem to all be experiencing a home invasion while in the midst of a family feud. And that, for a lot of people, summed it up and hit the nail right on the head. So having said that, I know who's responsible for all this. And call me crazy, many do. But I know who's responsible, and many of you know who's responsible. So tonight's opening prayer is for each and every one of you, okay? Because I love all of you. So if you want to get some direct energy off of this prayer, all you have to do, you know the routine, just reach your hand out, touch your computer screen, close your eyes, bow your head, and I will start the prayer now. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Jesus said to St. Bridget, I am the creator of all and Lord over the devils, as well as over all angels, and no one will escape my judgment. The devil, in fact, sinned against me in 3 ways, namely through pride, through envy, and through arrogance. He was so proud indeed that he wished to be Lord over me, and that I should be subject to him. He also envied me so much that if it were possible, he would gladly have killed me in order to be Lord himself and sit on my throne. Indeed, his own will was so clear and so dear to him that he cared nothing at all about my will as long as he could do whatever he wanted. Because of this, he fell from heaven and no longer an angel. He became a devil in the depths of hell. There is no repentance for the angels after their fall, just as there is no repentance for men after death. Amen. I got your guys' candle right here. Nice big one. May you all have a wonderful, safe, and blessed Halloween, All Saints Day, All Souls Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. God bless you all. I covered the whole year for you. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Your candle will sit over here for the duration of the show, everybody. And then I will take it in and put it in with the rest of the candles that are burning. And it'll burn until it's done burning. Justin Snodgrass, my buddy. Hi, Justin. Light a candle for the world record when we start, please. I'm going to talk about that. That's next weekend, and I am excited. But I know what I want to tell you, Justin. Don't go anywhere. I got a little announcement I want to say to you here in a few. Guys, anything you need to know about me and my wife and our ministry, you can find out on our website. Our website is www.ghost-b-gone.biz, and that is the ministry right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you go to the website, you'll find a lot of cool things there to see. Keep in mind that my wife, Sharon, and I, we don't charge for our ministry work, helping people with their paranormal issues. So if you're there visiting and you see the button and you're able to do so, please send in a small donation. I promise you it'll be appreciated from the bottom of our hearts, and we will put it to good use, I assure you. You'll notice a page there called Spiritual Advisor. If you click on that page, this is for all the people that are having issues of a spiritual nature, not necessarily attached to the paranormal. In addition to being an ordained exorcist, I am a certified spiritual advisor, intuitive coach, listener. And if you would like to make an appointment to speak with the Rev for your spiritual issues, you can do that there on that page. You'll also notice a page called the WSE course/book. That page will take you through our shop. We got a bunch of stuff there that you can purchase. I know many of you have seen my old school Ghost Be Gone coffee mug that I drink out of during the show. I know many of you have purchased some of the shirts, the hat, and so forth. Just got a new shipment in of our Wear the Armor shirts, which is very popular, and I got one hanging up behind me on my beautiful Last Supper painting. So I have a course there. I am a founder of the Worldwide Society of Exorcists, and I offer a 12-week online college-level course, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare. If you've ever felt the calling to want to know more, have more knowledge about how to truly battle the demonic and protect yourself and protect your family and protect your friends, that's the course for you. You can enroll in that course there on the website. There's also a Worldwide Society of Exorcists Facebook page if you want to know more about the course. But I just had the course given 2 emphatic crucifixes up, or thumbs ups, if you will, from another friend of mine who's a bishop at a diocese. And all my graduates, remember, all of you get a stunning diploma, certificate of completion, suited for framing. And all of my students that enroll for the fall classes before the end of 2020, upon graduation, will also receive some religious relics, which I have personally received from the Vatican that have been touched and blessed by the Pope. But it's only for the graduates of the fall classes. You'll also notice there on that page my new haunted autobiography, God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry. I know that you guys have heard my publisher, Annette Munich of Stellium Books, call it the scariest book she ever published. Don't let that scare you off of purchasing the book. There's a lot of good versus evil in there, and a lot of good winning out over evil. So it is a very different kind of feel-good story, if you will. It's a true story inspired by spirit and divine intervention. If you haven't done your good deed for the day yet, purchase the book. You can do that there on the website. It comes autographed by yours truly, enclosed in a beautiful house blessing kit. Or you can purchase it a little less expensive at Amazon, but that does not come autographed. And what I want you to know about the book is that it's also got a very feel-good story behind it. As long as I've had the book out, part of the proceeds of every sale of every book has gone to support stjude.org and St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Nevada. September was Children's Cancer Awareness Month. So that whole month, I donated all proceeds of every sale of my book to those two wonderful organizations. And I decided to continue that deal through the end of October. So if you purchase a copy of my book, whether it be off of the website or off of Amazon, know that all of the proceeds will go to stjude.org or St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, Nevada. And that's a beautiful thing, guys. And if you've already purchased my book, you're a part of that research group and you're part of that support group. And so God bless you for that. Okay. I know what I wanted to tell you guys. Besides the fact that I've got two of the best producers in the world, Carl Albertson, Paranormal Nation Radio, also has his own paranormal team doing phenomenal things throughout his area, events, paranormal events, and so forth. But we're also a joint production with WO Entertainment. And WO Entertainment, Paranormal Nation Radio, are going to go for a world record starting next Saturday, which is Halloween, I believe 8 a.m. in the morning. They're going to go for a record to be on the air live continuously longer than anyone else, longer than the previous record. They're going for 180 hours. So support that, because I'll tell you what that supports. WO Entertainment and Paranormal Nation Radio are all about vets and the prevention of vet suicide. And what I wanted to mention, for those of them that don't know, most everybody on WO probably knows, but for those that may not know, and those of you out there that may not know, this past week, our president, he signed a bill into law. It's the Veterans Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Bill. And that is a beautiful thing. Washington, U.S. Senators Jerry Moran, Republican from Kansas, and John Tester, Democrat from Montana, chairman and ranking member of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, today applauded President Donald Trump's historic signing of their landmark Commander John Scott Hannon Veterans Mental Health Care Improvement Act. Boom. There you go. That's a beautiful thing. And that's what WO Entertainment is all about. They just do one program after another, one event after another, and anything that they get in terms of you paying to attend an event or paying to attend a show, donations, what have you, all go to support vet suicide prevention, which right now is off the charts and just unfathomable for me to think of a vet who's gone and put his life on the line. And I'm a Navy brat. You know, I did a small stint in the Navy. My father was a 25-year retired Master Chief radioman, served in World War II, Korea, Purple Heart recipient, naval intelligence. I can't imagine, anybody that's done that for our country come back and not be able to have some type of support, because I'm telling you, PTSD is a very real thing. Vet suicides, it just has to stop. I know, guys, there's so many other things going on in the world right now that also has to be stopped, that we have to pray for. Mainly, let's pray for the human race to get its humanity back. So just, there is power in prayer. Let's pray for it all. It's all important. But I thought WO guys would like to know that our president had just signed that bill in there. So as far as next weekend goes, my show, it's normally on Sunday. Next Sunday will be All Saints Day. The following day, All Souls Day. I will not have a show on All Saints Day. My show is going to be on Halloween. Yep. I'm doing a special 2-hour Halloween edition of Reverend Sharon Whittington's Paranormal Ministry. And are you guys sitting down? We are going live to Scotland to hook up with Scottish Paranormal and Haunted Scotland. They're going to be doing a live stream investigation of one of the most haunted castles in all of Scotland, and it's never been investigated before. They are the first team to get in there. We're going to catch them. My show's going to start at the same time, 5 p.m. Pacific, Halloween. It's going to go for 2 hours. But when we hook up with them, it's going to be probably 1 a.m. Scotland time. So we're going to be catching them like the last hour or two of their investigation. So it's going to be getting to know the team, getting to know about the castle, doing a little evidence review, having them share their personal experiences with us and talk about all things Scottish paranormal. It's going to be very, very cool. That's the first hour. The second hour, we are going to be visited by your friend and mine, Mr. Ghostly, host of Ghostly Hour on KCOR, David Cook, live from London. He will just be getting home. It'll probably be, I want to say 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, I think, in London, when we pull him in on hour 2. And he's going to just be getting home from his own Halloween night investigation at a very haunted location there in London. And we are going to go over evidence review with Mr. Cook and find out about the area that he went to investigate. And I know he's got some paranormal equipment experiments lined up that we may talk about. And it's just going to be fun. It's just going to be really a fun thing to do on Halloween. If your Halloween has been canceled, we're doing our very best at the Paranormal Ministry here that there still is going to be a Halloween. My wife and I haven't celebrated Halloween here in a long time. I'll tell you why. Nobody comes here to trick or treat. Everybody knows that my wife and I are the crazy ghost people here in the neighborhood. We've been here 20 years. They have witnessed and seen and heard rumors of a lot of crazy things that have gone on at this home that we live in. Some when Sharon and I aren't even here, and we hear about it after the fact from our neighbors. So the kids are scared to come by. When even the last couple of years we still celebrated Halloween, we did it by just basically waiting for someone to knock on the door. If they knocked, great. If they didn't, they didn't. But we found more and more kids waiting on the sidewalk while they sent their parents up to get the candy. Now I got 2 big dogs too, and I would, oh my gosh, how terrible would that be if they got away from me and out amongst some kids just outside the front door trick-or-treating. They're not vicious, but that might not go well. So we just decided with, our house being very haunted and a lot of other issues going on that we just don't celebrate Halloween anymore. Justin's back. After that, we go live from the old school in Cameron, Missouri. I think MO is Missouri for a full investigation. I'm telling you guys, this is where you want to be. WO Entertainment, Paranormal Nation Radio. This is where you want to be next weekend, starting 8 a.m. Halloween. World record is happening. Shelly and Richie, how are you? Oh, I know what you got. God forgive me. I have no manners. I'm sorry, guys. Our guest tonight was supposed to be one of my best friends in the whole world. Many of you, and I don't know if we have her. We had some technical difficulties earlier in the show during our audio.
She's here.
Oh, I just found out she's here. So I was going to babble on for about another 30 minutes and then say goodnight to you all, but thank you, Jesus. She's here. There is a God. We all know that. And I'm so happy because I wanted to introduce you guys to her. Everybody that watches me on Monday nights for the past 5 years on KCOR, Vegas Supernatural, you all know her, you all love her because she's been on that show many times. This past year, though, especially, she's been on the last Monday of every month to do a little thing we called Happy Medium Monday, where she comes on as my co-host and she just takes call-ins the whole show and does free live on-air 5 or 10-minute quickie readings for people that call in for them. So that's tomorrow night. She's back tomorrow night doing that. So this was a happy medium weekend for me. I had her tonight. I'm going to have her again tomorrow night. Don't forget, if you've ever wanted a free reading from a psychic, call into the show tomorrow night. If you tune in to Vegas Supernatural on KCOR, the call-in number's right there on the screen on the website. Just call in. If it's busy, keep trying. You get through, you'll personally speak to her, and you'll get your reading. Without further ado, though, Cape Cod's only live on-air psychic medium radio personality, my friend, very gifted, talented woman, the one and only Susan AHEARN. Susan, how are you?
I'm good. I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. It's a little shaky. It's a little shaky,
Okay.
but you look beautiful. I haven't seen you in a couple of months.
I know.
You sound great. So, listen, don't worry. I know you're stressed out about so many things. I mean, psychics that are as gifted as you, with as crazy as the world is right now, and you recovering, going through rehab for your knee surgery last month and all that. Don't be stressed out about this. If we lose you, we lose you. I'm going to have you on tomorrow night. We'll have you back. Don't worry about it. It is what it is. It's part of doing live stream shows and live radio and all that. It is what it is. I don't sweat the small stuff anymore. 2 or 3 years ago, my head would have exploded. But, it is.
I am working off of 4 devices. And this is what we have. Can you imagine?
My God.
This is Mercury in retrograde at its best.
Oh, but you look beautiful. The picture looks great. You sound great.
Oh, thank you.
And listen, I didn't even have to prepare for tonight and tomorrow night. You have been missed more than you know. And I would have pulled you on sooner. I'm babbling at the start of the show, trying to buy time, getting ready to pull Carl on and talk about, I don't even know. So I'm glad I thought to ask, did we get her yet? Or I would probably still be babbling and you'd be waiting. But I didn't have to prepare much for tonight and tomorrow because once I announced you were going to be on and it was a happy medium weekend, all your fans and followers start sending me in questions. So everybody's excited. Everything on the page here, except for 1 or 2 comments that I've added that are from me, but I'll jump right into it. Everybody wants to know how the knee surgery went and how's recouping and therapy, physical therapy and all that. How's all that going for you?
Well, I have to say I am very fortunate that my healing is going wonderful. It's really going fast. It's been like a month and a half, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And I'm walking without my cane, and which is amazing. And I'm doing really well. So I'm working it. You got to work it. This is a really painful surgery. So you have to just kind of tough through it, but it's doing good. I'm fine.
Oh, my wife says she's on here. She's so glad to see you. Missed you. She has missed you. I know she plans on taking advantage of you tomorrow night and calling in for a reading. Hi, Mark Eddy. Actually, I'm glad Mark's here. I'm on Mark's show on Friday. I'll advertise that throughout the week, so don't worry about it. You guys will know. But we're going to do a All Hallows Eve special show on Night Light with Mark Eddy. I believe it's Night Light.
Wow.
Mark, if I do have that wrong, Mark, please forgive me, buddy. Yes, it's Night Light with Mark Eddy this coming Friday. But Sharon will probably call you tomorrow for a reading because she's really missed you and she wants to take advantage of having you on the show. But she always calls in, and if it's busy a couple times, she lets your fans go first and get that out of the way. Yes, that is. I've had knee surgery when I was younger. I played many, many years, starting at a very young age. I played many years of organized um, full contact football in pads. And so I had many knee injuries, so much so that by the time, one or two seasons in high school, and I was done. And even now, I have a torn cruciate in each knee, and I'm just scared to do the operations. I just deal with it. I go into the doctor to get special injections in them a couple of times a year. This year, all doctors have been shut down because of the pandemic. So
Mm-hmm.
I've missed the last 3 appointments for the knees. So I'm walking around like an old. I am an old man,
Oh.
but I'm walking around like an old man, and it's just depressing. But it is what it is. But yeah, that's a very difficult surgery, hard to recover from. I know it was a little rough for you at first, but I'm glad that I mean you look beautiful. You look like you're handling it okay. Um, so keep me abreast on that. I know that's put a big dent in your ghost hunting.
It has.
So you're in my prayers. You'll be out there soon.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk a little bit about your ghost hunting experiences here in a bit. I
Okay.
know I know you guys also got hit hard with the pandemic, and it's been like a roller coaster ride there in Cape Cod.
Mm-hmm.
Where's all that right now? We're going into winter. I just watched a little bit of a football game earlier in Denver. It was snowing. Um, they're talking about a scary winter coming. I'm in constant prayer that it's not going to be a scary winter. That it is what it is, but I'm praying that it
Right.
won't be. That maybe we get one or two more. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a doctor. Said there's with these type of viruses that come on like gangbusters, like this one did, and turn into pandemics. There's usually 3 phases. If we have another
Mm-hmm.
phase in the winter, we may have another one late next year, but usually it's a 2.5 year span, and they're usually maybe not gone, but we've kicked its butt and we've got the vaccines and the therapeutics and all that, and we can deal with it. And that's probably so we're probably looking at dealing with this till the end of next year. But I do believe that we're going to get through it. How are things there with that in the Cape Cod area?
I don't check on a regular basis of the numbers because it can get crazy. Brewster, I don't. We have like under 5, and from Brewster, if we have anything down to Provincetown, there's none. It's just non-existent. But we're really tight here about using our masks. No one can get in a restaurant or any place without your mask on. Um, and it's compliant. Nobody's arguing. There's no big to do. If they don't like it, no one's really paying attention to them. Um, so we're doing what we need to do to get through as a community, and it's not. We have places to walk. We can go outside. We're very fortunate that way that there's a lot of nature around. So it's we're good. We're holding tight. So
Yeah, and I know winters can be brutal there.
we're
So
used to
hang in
being
there.
locked down, right?
Yeah,
We're used to not seeing anybody for 6 months. So
I just
I'm really
happen to
okay with it.
I just happen to notice something funny here. I always drink my blueberry green tea during the show out of one of my old school Ghost Be Gone uh, coffee mugs, but look what Sharon snuck in here.
Woo, woo, woo. The happy medium mug.
It's a happy medium mug, and it says on the other side, it says "Got ghosts."
Got ghosts. Woo.
So everybody, and
Oh,
while we're
yay.
talking about it, your website is
Hmm.
Cape Cod Happy Medium, all one word.com. Do you have
Right.
this for sale on there, or do you just give them out as gifts?
No, it was just too difficult on the website to do it. But if they want one, they can call me and contact me. I'll send you
Okay.
one.
And then
It's
you have a
cool.
beautiful Facebook page, Happy Medium, one
Hmm.
word, Facebook page. Let's talk about real quick, get it out of the way. You have a new project, I
I
noticed.
do.
Um, and I didn't have time to really jump in feet first in the deep end and check it all out, called conversatecafe.com. What is that all about?
Oh, cool. Glad we're talking about it. I created it while we were in the midst of the pandemic, and it's a a platform, a virtual platform where we get on Zoom. I create helpful, thoughtful conversation. I give you questions. I send you out into breakout rooms, and you get to look at people's faces. You get to have conversation. You get to listen. You get to talk. And if you're tired of talking to your spouse or your friend, or you're a mom that's just stuck in with children, we're missing that communication piece. And it's good for our well-being, and it's really, you feel good afterwards having these really fun questions. You get to meet people that maybe live in the city versus out in the country, and um, are from all sorts of different walks of life. So it's very diversified, and anybody can join in. It's Conversate Cafe. And when the events start rolling, I just opened it, just started it. I've been working on it. I've just tried to get through surgery, and then I wanted to get past Mercury in retrograde so I could avoid any of these things. Um, and then I will start the events up in November. So,
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. I
yeah.
love listening to you when you have occasionally you surprise me, and I'm sure a lot of other of your followers, by having these impromptu. You usually look like you're in your PJs with a cup of coffee. It's in the morning in your home, and you usually do an astrology thing. I used to be really into astrology many, many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I'm a Scorpio, and it's funny how whenever anybody talks about Scorpios, they usually hit the nail right on the head with me. And I had to
Mm-hmm.
laugh the other day. Somebody had a picture of a beach. They posted a picture of a beach, and it had a dingo. It must have been in Australia. It had a dingo. He drug a shark out of the water and killed it, and he's eating this shark
Wow.
on the beach. And he looks up at the guy that took the picture, and a few feet from the dingo are two snakes
Mm-hmm.
mating. Two big snakes mating, all in their tangled in their mating thing. And the caption on the picture said, "Watch out, we're entering Scorpio season." So I
Right?
don't even know what that whole picture meant. I'm like, okay, shark's being eaten by a dingo, two snakes mating. It's on the beach. I don't know,
I don't know
but
what that means.
anyway,
That's funny.
I know you've told this story. you I know you told this
Okay.
story 1,000 times, usually because I
Mm-hmm.
ask you to, because I still find it so amazing. But I
Okay.
know for a fact there's a lot of people tuning in tonight here on my Sunday show that don't know this
Mm-hmm.
about you. They don't
Okay.
know that, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
still struggling with this too. Like, uh, you are, at least, as far as, I don't have my list with me. No, that's not the list. Somewhere here I have a list. You are my list shows 7-time near death experience survivor.
Right.
Now, here's
I say
okay. Well,
five.
I'm gonna go through it with you. I know I'm looking for a term other than near death experience survivor, because you actually died during these. Told God, no, I love you. You're the man. I ain't staying. I got to go back. So
Right.
you've been there, done that. You've crossed over. You come back. So
Mm-hmm.
that's not near death. That's like death experience survivor.
Well,
I'm
yeah, but the death part is you stay there. I come back. So I was, oh,
oh
you know what I mean? That's the near part. You were
okay.
near and then you come back. You didn't stay.
I'm going to have you go through them and
Okay.
tell
Oh.
my audience about these, because there's a lot of people out there. I didn't know how many people have had these experiences, and then some of
Mm-hmm.
them go into extreme denial, and they're like, just not only was it horrifyingly scary enough to go through
Mm-hmm.
what I went through, but
Mm-hmm.
while I almost died, that experience, as beautiful as it may or may not have been, was also super
Mm-hmm.
freaky. They're just glad that they survived their ordeal, and they don't like to
Right.
revisit what happened to them while they were in that in between state, the near death experience. So there are some people out there that struggle with that. I didn't know that. So
And
my
sure.
viewers about that tonight.
Well, not everyone has or have had a beautiful experience. And I I did on each one of them. So I was amazed that there were not pleasant experiences. So the first time I was playing with friends, I was, like 8 years old, and we were running out back, running through the backyard, trying to catch a train. I don't know what we were going to do with the train when we got there. I have no idea. There were train tracks quite a ways, like 50 feet or more. It had to be 100 feet. I don't even know. Away from the house. And we'd have to run through this big field to get to the train tracks. And then we'd have to run up the hill to the train track to get the train. And it was a race to see who would get there first. Now, I didn't get hit by the train, thank the good Lord. But on my way over the fence, I kept climbing up, and then the bigger kid would push me down. And so when I climb up and they'd push me down, and they used to call me small fry. And so I ended up going up and over last. And when I got up, climbing up the fence, my footing slipped and I kind of rotated. And when I rotated, I had a hoodie sweatshirt on, and the hoodie part got caught on the stockade fence, and the zipper kind of, and so my little legs and arms kept flailing, trying to get a hold of something, and I was on the straight side.
Yeah.
So there was nothing to grasp. And so I just kind of hung out until my mom came around and found me. But I swear the only reason why she did is that as I'm trying to undo myself, and you can't zipper when there's pressure on it, you can't lift yourself off. Through telepathy, I kept calling to my mom to say, come behind the garage, come behind the garage. And as it was getting darkness and I was fading into the death process, which there's a death process starts before you die. I don't know if people are aware of that, but you're already starting before you pass. So I'm slowly letting go, and then there was this serenity that comes, and it's like it's okay. It's okay to let go. It's okay to be. And I just kind of surrendered, and surrendered to the darkness, surrendered to the fact that this was it and it was okay. It was so clear for an 8-year-old to be so clear and comfortable with it. It's that moment of clarity that you get. And then I remember being woken up on the grass, and my mother kind of shaking me and yelling at me. She was petrified. I was this horrible color purple, she said. It was the worst color purple she'd ever seen. It was, and I started breathing again. And so that was one. Two was,
I'm marking these down.
you okay? Okay, and jump
I
in at
have,
any
I
time if you
have,
have any
I have,
questions.
I have 7. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Number two was delivering childbirth, my third baby, third and last, um, which is over 30 years ago. I died during a post childbirth, had a cesarean. I was internally bleeding. Something happened. It was a little oopsie. And I knew there was something was wrong, but they weren't listening to you. They don't listen to you in the hospital anyways. And by the time the doctor got out of the second surgery or whatever, he was busy. And by the time he got out of that C-section, it was too late. My blood pressure was 60/40. And I kept asking, can I see my baby? I just want to see my baby. And they kept saying, no, you can't see your baby. And internal bleeding is got to be one of the most painful.
Really?
Blood on muscle is just an internal organs. It's extremely painful. And so through all of that pain, all of a sudden the pain shifted, and I was in pain again. So that's where the death process starts. It starts before you're dead. And so when the pain shifted and this amazing clarity comes over, you just kind of go like, oh, okay, I guess this is what's happening. And it's not like a thought, it's just a knowing. And you just kind of go, okay. And I realized I wasn't going to get to see my baby, and they weren't going to show it to me. There was nothing I could do about it. And I just kept saying, am I breathing? And the nurses were like, of course you're breathing. Of course you're breathing. And I'm like, well, because I don't feel like I'm breathing. I feel like I'm not breathing anymore. So I'd already started that process. This was so amazing on a scientific level when you think about it. But so that's when I saw white light, and there was no tunnel. I just kind of like like you close your eyes and open it, and ta-da, I was at this other place. But on the way, on my journey from to heaven, from point A to point B, there was a place. I passed a place that we kind of traveled slowly by, and there was two guides, two angelic guides, and we passed this place that you don't want to go. I couldn't really see what it was. It was like a negative feeling towards it, but I didn't hear, I didn't see fire. Boop. I didn't hear anybody screaming. It wasn't like Hollywood. I didn't experience any of that. I just knew I didn't want to be there. And I was glad that we were continuing on. So we get to my end destination, and it's very foggy. It was like you were in a really thick fog, like London fog, thick fog. And I could see the shadows of people. There were dark people standing, around, like all you saw was the darkness and the silhouettes. But I couldn't tell who they were, but they were all there. And for some reason, I expected a party. Oh, why? I thought I was going to get a party. I'm like, woohoo, I'm here, everybody. Yay, this is my big day. I made it back, and hello. And, like the mayor's in town. I was like waving at people and all excited I was there. And then it was like really quiet. No one was like, almost like you walk into a room when something's happened and you're like, oh, hey. And then just like odd, awkward silence. And so then I got really pouty, and everybody kind of shifted back. And the Blessed Mother was there. And she just is the most lovely, the most maternal, most soft, gentle, kind, like, she just is amazing. And I was like really sad. And she kind of explained that something had happened, that I wasn't supposed to be here yet. And I was like, but no one's, I'm here, I'm pouting. I'm like pouting on her lap. It was more like the child me than the adult me. And so I was just like so sad. And I was like, but I'm here, and this is the best day ever. And I'm so excited to be back. And she said, and she was really quiet, and she was very comforting and understanding. And she said, well, I can't make you go back if you don't want to, because you've made it this far. But let me explain, or let me show you what would happen if you don't go back. And I'm like, humming, all right. I was just so embarrassed now. Think about it. And this is my big chance. And here I am whining to the Blessed Mother, right? And so I'm like, all right, I'll look. And so I go with these two angels. They kind of guide me on either side. No one touched me. They weren't like holding my hand or anything. We've kind of zoomed to another dimension. And in this next dimension, it was very dark. It was like a movie theater. And I'm watching past, present, future happening in quantum speed all at once. And within that moment, I was like, oh, shoot, I got to get back. And like, I got to get back now. I'm like, even like me being there was messing up this timeline of some sort. And I was like, I got to get back. And within that thought, as if we could take a breath, that's as long as it took. And I was like, landed, smacked. Oh, this is another most painful, was landing back into your body. Once you've been out of your body, very painful. It was like landing on glass and nails and shards, and it just like everything hurt, like your eyelashes. And 30 years later, I can tell you exactly how painful it was. Like, I can remember it just landing. And I'm wondering if that's what it feels like to have your cells alive, if that's what was happening. I don't know what that was on a scientific level, but everything hurt. And then I just remember swearing, and my first words were um, F word.
Yeah.
I don't say it
Frank,
on radio, right?
which
I've
led to being on the Frank AM show.
right. I chose this. That was my F word. I chose this, thinking, why did I choose something so painful? Why did I want to be there? Why did I want to do this? But I knew in my heart, but I couldn't remember why. They erase it. You almost like do the Men in Black erasing, erase your memory thing. I was then once again back in my body, knowing I had a purpose, knowing it was so important, and that I had to be here. And so here I am. So that's number two. Um, the third time, it was after one of my surgeries,
Another
because I got hit by
surgery.
a car, right? I got hit by a car, so they were replacing and fixing all body parts, all sorts of stuff. And I had passed a clot through my lungs, and a blood clot. And I was I didn't know whether I was going to throw up or go to the bathroom. And so I was in the bathroom sitting on the toilet, and I realized, what is this feeling? I've felt this before. And I realized I was dying again. I was like,
Oh my
no, I
gosh.
was so mad. And in my own vanity, I didn't want to die with my pants around my ankles on the toilet. I was not going to die in the toilet. That was it. I'll crawl off the toilet. Just let me pull my pants up. And with that, that one was really quick because I was really mad, and I think that my my anger and fear started my adrenaline back up, and I got off that one easy. No pun intended.
That's a good
So
thing. You never know. Had you not done that and you ended up crossing over with your pants down, the party, then you might have
right.
got your party. I don't know.
That's the
Um,
party right there. That's what I'm talking about. No wonder I didn't get the party.
I
Whew.
thought there was two cars. I thought you died in a car accident and then you were a police officer and you got hit also by a car. So I thought there was two cars.
There is another car, but no,
Oh,
yeah, but no, I didn't die when I got hit by the car. First, when I got hit by the car, directing traffic, I did not die. It just spun me around.
okay.
So, and I kind of
I'll put
hobbled
number
out of the road.
I'll put hyphens
But
around number 4.
okay, so the number four was I was a passenger in a vehicle, motor vehicle, and it was Christmas Eve, and we were struck by a truck. The driver's the driver's head hit the steering wheel, and then it hit my chest, and so it hit my heart, and it gave me a cardiac thump, which stopped my heart from beating.
Wow.
And so on that one, once again, I'm sitting there, and everything is stopped. And if you've ever been in an accident, there's this weird time continuum thing that time is elusive. And I'm sitting in the seat, and I'm like, what is so quiet? Because when your heart stops, it gets really quiet. We don't have no idea how noisy our heart and all of our systems are until they don't work anymore. And that's when they call it deadly silent, because it is. There's death is silent. And I was like, silent is crazy. And what is this feeling? I know this. And I'm like, damn, I think I swore again. I'm dead again. I recognize this. I'm dead again. And then I got mad again because it's Christmas Eve. I have 3
Oh,
children. I'm a single parent raising 3 children. You are not going to take me on Christmas Eve. I'm not going. I refuse. And so I've hovered out of my body. I'm floating half. It was really interesting because when you leave, you can either totally leave, but I hadn't totally committed. So my feet were still attached to my head as I was kind of like leaving the cab of the truck. And I was really mad at God. I said, this is really going to mess everybody up. I'm not
Yeah.
going today. I'm not going. I'm sorry. You're going to have to. I've got presents. I have dirty laundry to wash. Like I came up with this list of why I can't die today. It's not convenient. And I was really mad. And I said, and I made a deal. I said, take me any other day. Just let me get through this day. Let me get through Christmas. Could you please? And then I'll be good. So with that, I went back into my body. I was whoop, and I started breathing, and my heart started beating, and then everything once again became excruciating. It was just so painful, and that I would say is number 4.
Wow.
And then you think that number 5. Then I had got hit by lightning twice, but I
There
didn't die during those. I just got electrocuted.
you go. Well, think about it though.
Right.
I still think those fall under near death experience. Come on. How
Right.
many,
Right.
and twice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at
And
6.
well,
Didn't
the
you have
ceiling fell on my head.
that's right. That's
Yeah,
number 7.
the
One has
ceiling fell on my head.
okay.
Hmm. So,
Do you ever, there's like people that survive a bad, like a train crash or a plane crash,
mhm.
they get survivor's remorse.
Mm,
Have you ever sat and thought, okay, well, have I fulfilled? Was, you know, is there any reason why I'm still here after all of this? Am I not fulfilling, you know, God's wish for me or what I should be doing or,
mm.
or do you feel that you are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing at this point in time in this journey,
Right.
or what's all about? Is there any type of, for lack of a better description, a survivor's remorse kind of a thing with someone who's psychically gifted like you, who's gone through all those NDEs?
Hmm. Um, no, because even when I created, well, and I didn't even create it, my guides came to me and said, you need to connect communities again. You need to get people to connect to each other, and you need to continue to find hope and joy and compassion for people. And I want you to create Conversate Cafe. And so
Very
while I
cool.
was down, this is what happened. So I know that there's more for me to do, or they wouldn't have just said, here, create this. Because I'm not a computer person. I have no idea why they wanted me. I just kind of laughed at them and said, you want me to create this computer, conversation platform that's all computers? Like, and you want me to do that, me? And they're like, yes, we'll help
Oh
you. And
yeah.
they've helped me through each and every step, even to creating the web page. And so um, I just listen to the guidance, and they tell me where they want me to stand, and I say, okay. And there's more to come. There's a lot more to come. It's going to get difficult. 2021 is going to be difficult, but we've already gotten through this much of it. So don't give
Yep.
up hope, and hold on tight, and know that we can do this. This may be a difficult winter, but what's our reality? My reality is that I'm surrounded by people that love me, and my house is beautiful, and I have beautiful things, and I am safe, and put all those things that help feed your soul instead of focusing on the destruction in other people's negative reality. Think about what your positive reality is, and you'll be fine.
Well, Sharon popped on here. You know that she's had at least 2 or 3 NDE experiences of her own, um,
Mm-hmm.
and she's said that she has had that feeling, wondering what God has planned for you and why you're why you're still here, not in heaven. Although one,
Right.
if I remember correctly, one of her incidents where she crossed over, she actually uh, wanted to stay, and they sent her back. I had to think about that for a second. Yeah, she actually
Right.
wanted to stay, and they sent her back.
It's
Um,
the most beautiful place. I mean, it's the most, if you can think of a moment that you were completely and utterly in unconditional love on this planet, and then times that by 10, that's what that is.
these
That,
two
and why would you want to?
angels, when you had these two angels escort you to another area
Mm-hmm.
where you saw, um, you were meant to see this, you know, uh, your life flashing in front of your eyes, things, your past things going on. That I think that triggered you. It was meant to trigger you knowing that you needed to be back.
Yeah,
Are
right,
those when you talk about getting help from people for your new website, conversate.com,
mm-hmm.
conversatecafe.com?
Right.
Are these angels or spirit guides? And if they're different, how are they different? And
Okay.
are these the same type of entities that help you that escorted you when you were up in heaven?
Okay. Good question. Um, the guide that I work with, that I channel, that helps me when I do my readings and whatnot, that is a different person, so to speak, different person than the um, than I they're kind of like Uber angels. They get you where you
Mm-hmm.
need to be, right? So they're a lower level angel, and in the angelic realm, they're kind of like they're the worker bees. They're the ones that take you around, and once they drop me off, um, then they get to go back. And one of them stayed, and it caused a little ruckus. I guess they weren't supposed to stay, and
Mm.
so they stayed for about 5 years, and I had a real hard time detaching from that angel that had to go back. It felt like a death or a loss
Oh no.
when they had to go back. It was very, very sad for me. But
Oh.
I was getting more, so it was okay. It was just a learning process for both of
I'm
us.
getting something now. I'm all of a sudden blasted like I'm sitting in a meat locker here, and my dowsing rods are shaking in the
Mm,
cup. Who is this, and why are they doing this to my dowsing rods? They make them
interesting.
point at me.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm also getting the word. Do you have a miraculous medal?
I don't know. Not that I know of, but I
You would
probably
know.
do.
You
But
know.
what is that? Okay, no, I
Uh,
don't. I don't then.
Mary's telling me that she wants you to get a miraculous medal. And
Okay,
I'll send you a message what that is. You can get
perfect.
solid sterling silver miraculous medals online. You can even
Okay.
you can get them from the Vatican, touched and blessed by the Pope. It's
Oh, wow.
Mary's medal that she gave to a saint. She actually appeared to a saint and
Mm-hmm.
told her how this medal what should be on this medal and how it should look. And it's actually
Oh.
Mary's medal to us. And
Oh.
in my humble opinion, it's
Mm-hmm.
probably a lot of people don't know this, but it's probably the most powerful medal that you can put on.
Wow.
Hands down, even more so. Well, I personally think the actual crucifix is a little bit more powerful, but it's
Mm-hmm.
right there. The crucifix, miraculous medal, then everything underneath. You want to you have a famous or a favorite saint, or
Mm-hmm.
the Saint Benedict medal or the Saint Michael medal, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm being told you need to. Mary wants you to have a miraculous medal. So
Oh, that's lovely.
if I do have one, I have a bag full of them here. Uh, there may or may not be one in there. If I do have one, I'll send it to you. If I
Okay.
don't, I'll let you know.
Okay.
But what are you getting on this guy that's here who
Mm-hmm.
has been mischievous lately? Not
Right.
malevolent, but a little mischievous. But he rattles the the dowsing rods, and then when I pick them up, they points at me. I've never had that before. I've had them cross. I've
Interesting.
had them go different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes one will point to me and one will go crazy, but then they
Mm-hmm.
usually always end up on me.
Okay, well, let's ask them. That's just the best way I would say is to, um, yeah, he's on. I'm not feeling it. It's a lot of trickery. I wouldn't say it's malevolent because you've had malevolent, but it's there's no need for him to be there. So there's some reason for him there. Like he thinks there's a reason. So let's just ask him. Ask him the question: Who is this, and why are you here?
I have. He doesn't tell me. I'm
He doesn't.
thinking
He's not going to tell you.
I've been preparing for the show next week by pulling out some of the haunted objects that I have that I know
Mm-hmm.
didn't at one time have anything uh, really bad or malevolent attached to it. And in the 2 hour show, if I have time, I might show some of these on
Okay.
camera. And I'm thinking
Do you
he
have
might be attached
something?
to one of those, and I took it and kind of woke him up a little bit when I grabbed whatever the object was.
Yes. You have like three objects together, and there's an oblong one, there's a square, maybe a box or something like that, a container of sorts.
Okay.
I don't know if it's in that container. It's not very big. It's like, I don't know, maybe 3, 4 inches wide. Um,
Okay.
does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Okay, he's a
Um,
part of that one. I'm not sure what that is. And I don't know, I don't think that all three of these objects are together, but those three objects are feeding each other.
do you get anything on the like you go to some hauntings and there's different levels of them. The
Mm,
ghosts on the first floor, they don't
right.
know anything about the ghosts on the second or third floor, and sometimes if
Mm,
they do, they don't want to have nothing to do with them. Everybody thinks
right,
that on the other side it's a big party, and they
right,
all get along and like, wow, when did you live? Oh, I lived with Napoleon. When did you live?
right,
Oh,
right.
I lived during Woodstock.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't think it's like that. What are they? Because there's a lot in visitation here, and some that I think are attached to this home and the property before Sharon and I moved in. Do they all
Hmm.
get along, or do they are they in competition for anything here?
Right. Do you
Um,
see, well, you know what? And I've seen, and I'm sure you've probably seen, is that there's one ringleader. There's always a bully that's in the house somewhere. They're usually up high in the attic or as high as they can go, and they have access to the whole house, top to bottom, and they rule each level and they rule each little individual in between. So all the little ghosts that are also there, they're bullies. And so I'd be talking to one, say it was a female, a young female, and then all of a sudden she says, I must go. He's coming. Or you'll hear others go, he's here. So you're always wondering, well, who the hell is he? Who, like,
yeah,
who's this? Tell me who's
that
coming.
would be terrible. You
So,
think you pass on, you choose for whatever reason not to cross over yet.
right.
Maybe when it comes, maybe after you think you've accomplished whatever it was you were going to accomplish by staying behind, uh,
Mhm.
you either have or you haven't. Now you've decided it's time to move on, and maybe there's a time frame, and now the light is no longer there for you, and you're a little bit lost. But it seems depressing to me that even in the afterlife you could get bullied. Um,
Well, I think that that truly is our purgatory, that they're stuck in this perpetual sadness or doom and gloom, and they walk the same hall and they're stuck in this deep emotion that kept them there in the first place, or this intense emotion through drama that kept them there. And they're just replaying that over and over like a horrible loop. That to me has got to be purgatory. It's not hell, it's painful, but there are worse places. And I do believe at any point in time when they wish to, they can go over because it doesn't take much to send them on their way. They have to trust that I'm not going to lead them in the wrong direction. And then they have to believe that there's someplace else, someplace better. We don't have to label it anything. They just need to know that it's okay to go towards the light. And I haven't seen one that hasn't seen a light or seen the way. They'll all say, oh, I see it. Now, I don't know what they're seeing, but they see something and they see it's positive and they make that shift. So,
Well, this is why
it's
I love you.
possible.
This is why I love you. I mean, I just happened to glance down at it's 6:06 already here Pacific. It feels like you and I just started talking and the
I
hour is
know
just
it.
gone. Let me quickly say that I know that WO and Paranormal Nation Radio are working on doing maybe some extended episodes of The Gift. I know I was on one of the episodes. I believe you were, weren't you? Did they get a hold of you for that?
No, I had to have surgery and it kind of messed
Oh,
that
that's right.
up.
Okay. Well, I think they're
Yeah.
still planning to finish some more of that. So
Oh,
they're
good.
not done with you yet.
Oh,
Um,
good.
maybe some if you're going to get a lot of call-ins tomorrow, but I have a
Oh,
ton of
good.
questions here. I'll try to fit in on tomorrow night's show or not, depending on how many call-ins you do get, because that's Happy Media Monday, and I want that to be for you and your followers, and it's also my way of giving back to the people that tune in on Monday night that may want a reading. But I love you. God bless you. Sharon loves you. She told me to make sure
Thank you.
give her my love. I'm glad your
Thank you,
things are coming
Sharon.
on. I'll have you back on this show because, like I got out of maybe the 20 questions that were on here, two. At least that you got a chance. My audience got a chance to see you and hear your story,
Hmm.
and I'm feeling now some people are going to say, "How did she get hit by lightning? You didn't cover that." And so
I know
maybe
there's not enough time. Yeah.
both of those stories are interesting too. So maybe we'll
They are.
talk a little bit about that tomorrow night, or I'll save it for
All
when I
right.
have you back. But thank you so much for spending an hour out of your busy Sunday
Oh,
evening in Cape
thank you.
Cod to hang out with me and my viewers. I know they really appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow night on Vegas
Good.
Supernatural.
I'm all rested up and ready to go. So call in and get your questions ready tonight.
Very cool. You have a great evening.
Thank you.
Susan, I'll see you
Bye.
later. Bye. Brothers and sisters, it doesn't get any better than that. I apologize that we didn't cover how she got hit by lightning twice. I'm still going to go with it's at least 7 NDEs for the happy medium. So if you want to get your free reading, that's tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. KCOR, Vegas Supernatural. Just call in if it's busy. Keep trying. And if you get through, you'll talk personally to Susan. She'll give you a 5-10 minute quickie reading. She's phenomenal. You'll love her. Thank you also very much. Don't forget, next Saturday, Halloween, 8 a.m. in the morning, starts the trying to set the record of 180 hours straight live broadcast, WO Entertainment, Paranormal Nation Radio. Reverend Shawn Whittington's Paranormal Ministry will be on that night at the same time, 5 p.m., Halloween night. We're going to Scotland and we're going to England. It's going to be a blast. Thank you also very much for tuning in. I don't have a show without all you guys. You know I love you all, and you're always, all of you are in my prayers. Have a blessed week. Stop the violence. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. God bless you all. See you all next week. Sorry I ran over, Carl. Peace, everybody.